this is part of my job. This is what I do. I'm an attorney. I was a corporate attorney, not a corporate attorney. Yeah, bad. Because in Ecuador, if you are not working for corporations, you are indigenous. The government doesn't pay well enough to defend the rights of people. You get paid very little, and I had to pay my education, and I had 2 kids, and so I decided that the one who pays me the most, I will work. But that gave me such a wonderful opportunity to learn on how we are ripped off. I didn't know, really, I didn't understand how these things work, but I was a patent law attorney, doing patent law and patenting plants and their ancient knowledge, indigenous knowledge in plants. I was working for the company, working for them to help them do that. And then when I met the people and they told me, this is our right, this is ours, and they are stealing. And I thought I was helping them, rip off people. I was helping commit this crime. And I said, no, this is not for me. I quit. And for some reason, I came, because of academic reasons, we came to Minnesota, to live in Minnesota. And I got involved in many issues involving immigration. I met people who had migrated because they had been evicted from their land, because they had been evicted from their own properties, because they live in, it's a quotation, they live in oil reserves. And when people want to drill, when the government wants to drill or concession the land to drill, they have to just immigrate because they have to pay their kids. And so I got involved in this movement, and I was doing it voluntarily, but I came as a student in the University of Minnesota to do human rights. And then my path opened up to just advocate for people, and that's how I got involved in this movement, again, with Ecuador. I know people who are in the government who have been working for many, many years, advocating for the rights of nature and for the rights of, consequently, as a human right. They don't divide human rights and nature rights. They believe that we are all one. And we don't have to give you rights to have access to food. It's a symbiosis. It's a process. So if I grant you rights to have access to water, then I have to grant the Mother Nature rights to provide you for that water. So that movement, a lot of people that were in the government, I was already here working long distance, and I started looking into these legal issues. And as an attorney, I thought, I don't think we can do it. We can make it. This is not right, because a lot of people are going to be against that. But the government, the president dissolved the Congress. Many people from the Congress were paid, of course, by corporations. They were sponsored by corporations. Well, the president said, you know what? No, we don't want that. We want people, humans voting, not corporations, humans voting for exchange. So the ones who started making the change, and he called for a referendum, and he put, they kind of boil it down to the rights to nature. And everybody said yes, because we have 70% of our population is mixed race, with indigenous background, including myself. And but the 30% of that upper class people are, of course, the ones who have been owning the monopoly of Ecuador, what Silagagi, Bayer, or Conoco are still doing, because we cannot get rid of that yet. So the referendum, the president won the referendum with 80% of the vote from the people. And they said, yes, we want to grant rights to nature. So, but how are you going to do it? Okay, so the defendant who is going to be the defendant? When you give rights, it has to be a defendant and a plaintiff and a defendant. And the plaintiff in this case will be the nature, and the defendant, the ecosystem, to the ecosystem, trying to get the from nature. So it's very interesting. I am not going to get into the spirit of the law and the law itself. I will very much be glad to send you information about our content, because it will be too extensive. But, it was approved majority of 92% in the General Assembly. And right now, currently, we are working very strongly with immigrants, with teaching them. That's when I was appointed Consul General, and this is what I do. Consul General is an ambassador, but the ambassadors live in the capital city. Consuls live in the state, represent the ambassador in the state. I represent my embassy here in Minnesota. Why do I represent? Because there are 40,000 victims of immigration. That's how I call them. Victims of immigration, living here in Minnesota, trying to make for a living.
From Ecuador?
From Ecuador.
They were displaced?
For the most part, they were displaced. Others were, it's not only the oil companies, it's the mining companies, and many, the Cuencanos, who are probably 80% of those 40,000 Ecuadorians are from Cuenca. And those people, for the majority of them, they don't have any place to go back home, because they lost, because of companies, because of the mining companies. So, but when you are here, it's difficult to take a grasp on or how or why are you doing this. But when you deal with the everyday issues, you understand that what they mean with the indigenous people when working with me told me, you cannot grant me a right, a human right, if you don't give nature the right to exist, to provide, to regenerate, to build new systems, whatever they are, but that comes from Mother Nature. So that's what I'm doing right now. Are we 7 minutes up? Are we good? I don't want to extend myself, but I really want. I am anytime. You are all very welcome to come to the consulate, visit me, and I'll explain you more, because it's really, to me, it was a life-changing opportunity. It was a life-changing opportunity, not only for myself, but for my kids, for my family. And right now, we are living under many, even vocally, we ask Mother Nature to let us go over the path when we take the car, because we need a car here. We ask, we respect it. And understand that concept took me a lot of years, 15 years, to understand that concept, that even, as you respect others, when you don't invade their privacy, that's the same thing that you have to do with nature. Respect them. Talk to Mother Nature.